Hey y'all. So I'm gonna wait a second for everybody to join us. This is not my scheduled time. I'm just being led by God to come on. So I'm talking to the camera even if no one's here. But welcome everybody into the live. If you guys don't know, I am Love Samantha Lee or Samantha Lee. I have platforms on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm on here today. This is not my normal time at all. But I am feeling led to be on here, y'all. I have to share this. I have to share this. I have to. Pam doesn't even know I'm on here, y'all. I literally have to share this. I kind of want to like turn off comments, but I'm not. I'm just going to stay focused. But I have to share this because somebody needs to hear this today, y'all. Somebody needs to hear this today. This is going to really, I mean, y'all, I have to. Like, I spent time with God before I even came on here, y'all. And I was like, you know what, God? Like, should I share this? Should I talk? And I'm like, okay. If you're calling me to do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna come on. Like, I'm not prepared. I'm not ready, but I'm going. I'm going. Okay. So anyway, y'all. Okay, let me back up and then we'll move forward. So let me tell you guys a story. Let me tell you guys a story. Okay. So this week, you guys, there was something that was due for my daughter's school on today. Like today, the money was due today, and I knew before. I'm like, I'm about to figure this thing out, right? Like y'all, we all have been there, right? There's a moment where there's something that comes up. You're like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna have to do this or that, whatever the case may be when it comes to like coaching or do some type of calls just to make up for the difference that would be due for her school. You know, she's in private school, so y'all already know how that can be. So anyway, I'm like getting myself prepared. I'm like trying to mentally like, okay, what do I do? How do I handle this? God literally tells me, don't try to figure it out. Y'all, one thing you must know about me, I am not the one to try to let God figure nothing out. Especially with finances. I'm gonna figure a way out. I'm one of them type of women since I was a kid. Like financially, I'm gonna figure it out. If I gotta take up another, I was in, listen, I was in my first year at school and I had 3 jobs. I was a housekeeper, I was an RA, I was doing everything, but that's just how I've always been. That's how my mama is. Like we just work, we're workers, we like to work. So anyway, I'm sitting here, trying to figure it out. That's not my thing to have faith for God to do that. So he's telling me like, just hold off, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, God, is due the 20th. The bill is due the 20th. So I don't know what you gonna do, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I just don't. I don't know. But I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you because y'all know if you guys have watched anything that I've been doing, I'm in a season with God, and I really it's a wilderness season. It really, really is. God is teaching me so much about Him. He's teaching me so much about Him that He could be trusted. When the Israelites got into the wilderness, the whole point was for them to figure out if God could be trusted, right? That was the whole point. Was He going to be faithful to give manna every morning? So this was coming up. I knew it was coming up and it was on my spirit, right? But God kept telling me, don't trust me. Trust me. Trust me. So this week he had me write down the amounts that would be due. And so I wrote it down. I'm like, I got it there. And I was like, okay, God, all right. I'm hoping I'm hearing your voice because I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure. Like, listen, I hope I'm hearing your voice. I hope it's not the enemy. Like, I'm like, God, I trust you. I trust you. So y'all yesterday night, I'm under attack. I mean, turmoil. I'm telling you, turmoil. Like the enemy is attacking me in every area that God is calling me to have faith for Him in. So I'm like, I'm struggling with this. I'm like, okay, And I watched this young lady's video, which I posted to my post. If you go to my community post, you'll see that I posted her. She doesn't even know how much I needed her. That God used her to speak to me yesterday. So she goes, so I'm listening to that. I listen to it multiple times. I go on a walk. I'm productive. I'm able to get things done. So, okay. That night, I'm praying. I'm like, God, here it is. So he had me write down. Like, I wrote it down. Okay. So I wrote down right here. Okay. So it was written down. He told me to write it down. I'm not going to give you all like the details, whatever. Wrote it down. I wrote verses. Like I got Deuteronomy 3 through 13, Proverbs 6:31, 1 Samuel 36:8. I literally have it written out. What I needed, when it was due. I literally wrote it out. I wrote it on there. I wrote it on my board in my room. And I was like, okay, God, I trust you. Like, I trust you. All right, I trust you. Like, normally I'll try to, I would take on some other calls. I would, do, work, like do something. I would figure out something. But God was like, trust me. Y'all, and this is an area that's hard for me to trust. Okay, so let's just start there. It's very hard for me to trust. I'm gonna figure it out. Like that's just how I am. And I know there's people on here that are just like me, that they you're gonna figure it out. You're not gonna allow circumstances to come down to where you decide, allow things to get to that point, if you know what I mean. Like you hustle. That's whatever. So anyway, what happens next is, right? So I wake up this morning. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God. He woke me up like he has me wake up early. So I wake up at 4:45, y'all. So I wake up at 4:45. I prayed with him. I laid back down a little bit, got back up, got my daughter ready for school, did my normal routine. Then I go and I walk. Like he's had me going outside for walks. So I'm going out for a walk, y'all. He tells me don't listen to anything, just pray. So I've been listening. I didn't listen to anything. And then when I saw the sky, y'all. It literally is so beautiful. I'm gonna take a picture of it. It literally looked like heaven was touching earth. Like I can't even. It just didn't make. It was just beautiful. It was so beautiful. I literally, as I got to the top of the hill, the sun comes out from underneath the sky, and I'm literally in like the sunlight. Okay. So I'm like, okay, God, I trust you. The enemy's trying to make no, he don't got you. Because remember, the enemy wants to get you out of faith. That's the whole point. So he's going to create circumstances to make you think that it's not going to happen. Because if he can get you out of faith, he can get you out of promise. So I went and I was like, okay, God, all right. So I'm walking. I got the headphones in. I'm just walking around, y'all. Again, forgive y'all. I wasn't prepared to go on live today. I wasn't. But God was, I read Psalms 40 and I was like, I gotta declare the goodness of my Savior. So anyway, y'all. So I'm walking around and I'm listening. I'm just talking to God. And when the enemy comes up, I'm literally reciting Psalms 91. I am like staying fixed on him. My mind is staying fixed on him. I'm worshiping. So I do my walk. I get done. I basically I go inside my car. I still listen to Bible stuff. I've really been focused. There's been a fire that's in me that I cannot explain. So I'm listening to God. I go home, and as I'm driving in, something tells me to go check the mailbox. Well, I'm like, God, I don't want to check the mailbox because every time I check the mailbox, there's a new bill. And I'm trying to figure out the ones we already talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, but you know what? God told me to do it. I felt the prompting in my spirit. I go to the mailbox. I get out my car, go to the mailbox, open up the mailbox. Let me tell you something. Soraya, please. You had to do what? Okay, mommy cooked dinner, so mommy's gonna get you some food, okay? I just gotta make the broccoli. You can have a snack, but mommy's about to give you dinner. So anyway, y'all. So I go into the mailbox. There's one envelope there. One envelope. Y'all, let me tell you, I wrote down what was due on the day. I wrote it on my prayer wall in my room. I've already been fasting and praying, right? So I have it in both places. Today is the day. I go into my mailbox. There is one thing in my mailbox on the day that it's due, on the day that was necessary. One thing. I open up this letter. Y'all, this letter was due like 2 months ago. This check, whatever. This was supposed to come supposedly 4 to 6 months. It was some type of random check. A random check came in the daggone mail. That's what I'm telling you. A random check came on the daggone mail the day. I mean, the day. We're talking about 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 the day. I wrote down the day. Like, I wrote down the day here. I wrote down the day in my room. I'm literally like, I don't know how. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how. Like, God, I'm trusting you. Normally, I would have done a live. Y'all know I would have done a live on Monday. The way the YouTube algorithm, how we get, I'm telling y'all, I'm like, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. I am trusting you. And y'all, I like it. I had such a strange peace, and I was seeing purple flowers, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I see these purple flowers everywhere. I'm seeing like and I'm like going up to I go to the mailbox. There's one thing in there. This thing that was supposed to come, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, came on the day. I'm done. The day. Can we? The day. The day. The day. The day. The day. Like the day that it was due. Y'all can't tell me there ain't a God. And it was not only just enough for what I'm looking, y'all. I'm like looking like I cannot. I'm literally, y'all. I get away from the mail. I just had it was a mirror. Now, mind you, I've had God has shown up for me. There's been many times God has shown up for me, y'all. I've experienced so many different things in my life. This was the clearest miracle I've ever experienced in my. This was like he told me, I'm showing up this day. Trust me. I'm like, okay, God. And the tendency is to try to make it happen, to try to do it in my own strength. I'm like, no, tendency, pipe down. Pipe down. I go into the mailbox. This check, only thing in there is a check that was supposed to have come, a random check, unexpected. That covered the amount and some. That covered the amount and some. I wrote down 320. I said, God, 320. Wrote on my thing, 320. I go walk around the park. God's telling him, giving me some type of strange peace. I'm like, okay, God, okay. I come home. He tells me to go check the mailbox. I go check the mailbox. There's one thing in that mailbox. It's a check, a random, unexpected check that covered that plus some. Covered that plus some. Family, you don't understand. I don't think you. I literally just experienced a daggone miracle. Like I just saw the goodness of my Savior in the land of the living. I'm like, listen, I cannot. There are people right now that y'all, listen, I am not the type of person to have faith for certain things. I have faith in other areas, but walking in faith and saying I got faith are two different things. I can say I got faith, but I'm not literally opening up the door and allowing him to have the opportunity to show up for me in such a mighty way. So this was just a prompting in the spirit. And I'm like, okay, God, I trust you. I'm just going to do what you've called me to do. Y'all, I literally did. I put my hands down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to leave room for you to move. Y'all, when I tell you that our God moved, when I tell you that our God moved, when I tell you that our God, there was one thing in the mailbox. One, because I just checked it. One thing came on the day that I needed it. The day he said it, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just trust me. And I did, y'all. I was struggling now. And the enemy tried to get me to look at the situation and say, I don't know. And he told you not to go live, like not to do content, not to do this on Monday. Like, I don't know. Y'all, the day of, the day I needed it, this check that was supposed to come, y'all, I literally said to myself, I don't know if this check is ever going. Because it is what it is. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, God, I just saw you. I've never trusted you in this area. But I've trusted him in other areas. I've taken risk. I do, different things like that. But there's just certain areas, y'all, I have not really taken the time to trust God in. And this is one of those areas. And I had to come on here to let you guys know how faithful our God is. This season has been tough, not because it's been hard, but because there's been breaking. There's been a lot that's happened, but I've been committed to the process and being obedient to every little thing. Like if he tells me to go left, I go left. If he tells me to go right, I go right. Like I'm just really focused on being obedient and not allowing anything to get in the way, like nothing to distract me, nothing to stop me from pursuing him the way that he's calling me to pursue him. And at first it felt like breaking. At first it felt like breaking. But then at some point it felt like building. It felt like he told me, I'm not breaking you, I'm building you. And y'all, when I tell you God is, and let me give you a step further. There's been a number that God has been just showing me. And he's shown me this number. It's a number that like, he's just been showing me. And so anytime there was a situation where I was like, God, do you want me to do this? If you show me this number and whatever. And y'all, I kid you not, it was on a billboard. And I'm like, okay, God, I heard you. I said, I'm not taking time. You got to put this on a billboard. You got to do, it was literally on a billboard 9 hours later in a deserted gas station that happened to have a billboard on the highway that I was driving. I'm like, this is just, I'm like, okay, God, I got it. I literally laughed in the car and said, you're funny. You're actually kind of petty, but you're funny. Like, you put this big old billboard. So I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I'm obedient. I understand what you're saying. I got it. That number that I saw on that billboard was on the check that came. That was the date that check was written out. That day. The same number. That number has a meaning. I'm not going to share the meaning. But that number, and God just spoke to me about something yesterday stop. Come on. Okay. God told me something yesterday and I was like, okay. And I saw a vision of me writing it down. So I wrote it down. The meaning of the number, whatever, that number came up. That confirmed the word he gave me yesterday. So not only did he come through on a word he'd been telling me, not only did he come through on what he said he was going to do, he then confirmed another word with a word. Y'all, I am literally like, I cannot believe, like, when people say there isn't a God, I don't understand what they're like. I have literally experienced God in such a mighty way. Yes, you don't see him, but he is there. He is very physically present. How is it that I say, hey, listen, I got this thing I got to do, and I'm immensely preparing myself to handle it. And God's like, no, don't handle it. Don't figure it out. I want to trust me to handle it. Stop trying to do it in your own strength. Trust me to handle it. Okay, I trust you to handle it. I trust you to handle it. He handles it on the day that I need it. And the tendency on the day of, you're like, okay, God, you late. I can't, like, I had to be, and I kept seeing like 40, 41, 40, 14. I'm like looking at these. Y'all, 40, 41 means precious treasure. I had to come on here, y'all, and I read the way that I am getting to know God in this season. I just can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. Like, there's no, it's almost like a Job story where he says, after everything that's happened to him, he's lost everything and he's going through a season. And then God finally, he shows up and he answers Job. And when he finally answers Job, Job says, you know what, I've heard of you, but now I've seen you. Soraya, what are you doing, Soraya? Go get it, baby. Then go get, baby, you know how to get water, mama. Please close the door because your TV is loud. Y'all, I'll tell you what. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, when I've seen him. I've seen him with my own eyes. And if God is calling you on a journey, y'all, if God is calling you on a journey, let him take you on a journey. Let him show you how faithful he is. Let him. Probably the most worthy thing that you can do, the most worthy thing that you can do, is to put yourself on a journey with God, honestly. He's an on-time God. He is a miracle worker. He is a promise keeper. He is the wonderful counselor. He is a provider. He is. He is all of that. He is. And so I want you guys to really, if you guys have not, I'm telling you guys, at the end of the day, what is happening? Are y'all not? Okay, there we go. Y'all may not be believers on here. That's fine. I am a believer. I'm unapologetically a believer. I believe in God, and God has had me on a journey. And when I've seen what he has done, if you guys want to rewatch this video, it's my testimony. I'm going to be faithful. When God shows up in my life, I'm going to be faithful. In Psalms, David talks about how he is going to be faithful to present what God has done, his faithfulness in the great assembly. And so I said to myself, well, I need to be faithful. If things are happening in my life, there are people right now that are trusting God for things and they don't see God. They don't see him moving. They're believing for things they literally can't see. And that's so hard when we live in a world where we make decisions based upon things that we see. We're very logical. We're very, we're pragmatic. We try to do things in the kingdom of faith. It's a completely different system. It's believing in something you cannot see, believing a prompting, believing what the Spirit is telling you, believing those things. And even though you do not see it, you still believe it. You still believe it. And God, if the enemy is attacking you in an area, there's going to be something that God is doing. The opposition is an indication of what God is doing in your life. The opposition is an indication of what God is doing in your life. If there is opposition to what you're believing for, if there's doubts, if there's concerns, if there's things that are being said to you that are trying to take the seed of faith, understand that that is something that God has put on you. Do not allow Do not allow the enemy to take that from you. If he can take you out of faith, he can take you out of your position. If you get out of faith, only without faith, it is impossible to please God. When God is calling you to do something, family, literally do not allow the enemy. Do not allow the enemy. I rebuke and bind the enemy here on this live that's trying to distract me, that's trying to say things. No, I rebuke and bind him in the name of Jesus. At the end of the day, there is a God that is very, very real. Very, very, very real. And I saw his hand move today. And so if you are in a journey, if you are experiencing warfare, if there are things that are happening in your life and God is asking you to believe, God is asking you to trust him, God is asking you to walk in faith, be obedient. Do not allow the distractions of this world to take you out of purpose. The life that God has for you, the things that God has for you it will be way more valuable. The things he is creating in you will be way more valuable. The purpose that he has for you is way more valuable than anything you could ever create for yourself. Do not allow the enemy, do not allow him to steal your purpose. That you do not, please don't. Because at the end of the day, God is so faithful, and I'm here to testify of the good and the faithfulness of my Savior. That God told me he was going to show up. And of course, I would have wanted him to show up a little bit earlier, but he showed up right on time. He showed up right on time. I saw a miracle happen, and I wanted to share it. Because I have to be faithful. When God shows up for me, I have to be faithful because there's somebody else on here that's trusting God for something. You feel God is asking you to trust him in a specific area of your life. And I have to be faithful. I have to be faithful. I don't care what opposition I get. I have to be faithful because God is good. And if he's calling you on a journey and he's calling you to a certain place and you're like, I don't know about this whole God thing, I'm not sure. Just try him. 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 Try it. Try him. Try him. I randomly go to I'm asking God. God is telling me, trust me, trust me, trust me. I randomly get a check in the mail. What? Randomly? I randomly get a check in the mail? How? On the day that I need it? Like that, y'all, God is saying, trust me, write it down, write the date, do all this. I want you to see my faithfulness. I want you to be able to see it. Y'all, y'all, when I went to that mailbox and I saw what was in there, it was the only thing in there. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've never trusted you in this area before. God is showing me so many beautiful things in this season, y'all. And some of you guys may be trusting God, and maybe you struggle with trusting God in certain areas of your life. Maybe you've been hurt. Maybe you've been disappointed. And I'm here to encourage you to trust God, to trust God. Please trust God. Trust God. Why is this happening? I don't understand what's happening here. I don't know. Okay, so trust God. Trust God. Trust God. Trust God. If God is calling you on a journey, trust him. He knows what's best. And I know sometimes when he's asking you to give up certain things, it feels like, I don't want to do this. I'm not sure about this. And y'all, I'm telling you, throughout this journey, God is like, I used to fight with God. I used to be like, the resistance was real. Like, I don't want to give this up. This don't make sense to me. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? But y'all, I tell you what, every single time, what is going on? What is happening? This is the enemy, y'all. Oh my goodness. What is happening? What is wrong with you? Like, this is crazy. I've blocked the same account like 80 times. It keeps popping up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. It is like the enemy is real right now. Okay, I'm just going, whatever. I wonder how I could do this. Okay. But anyway, so I say all this to say, y'all, that if God is calling you on a journey, Be faithful. Trust him. Obviously, you see opposition now, y'all, that I'm on the channel, I'm sharing my testimony, and then there's this random account that wants to just completely and won't stop. Like literally won't stop harassing me. But that's the enemy, and I'm not gonna let him stop me. The reality is, y'all, God is so faithful. He is real. He is faithful. He is real and he is faithful. And he's asking you to trust him. If you're on a journey right now and it's hard to see what God is doing, you know that there's promises that he's saying to you. He's saying that certain things are going to happen. He's saying he's preparing certain things for you. Trust him. Trust his process though. You're not going to he has to see you move. You're not going to get the best version of what God has for you if you're not being obedient. You're like, listen, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to do it your way. I want you to do what you say you're going to do, but I'm going to keep my cards to my chest. That's not how this works. I had to be faithful and be as obedient as possible, because Sam is not perfect. Let's be very clear. But obedient as possible to what he was calling me to do, even if it didn't make sense to me, even if it was something I would never do. I still was being obedient to the process. And y'all, at first I was fighting him. At first I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I was very stuck in my ways. And a lot of it was because of wounds, trauma, things I've experienced in my life. Like it really, those core wounds were speaking. And I just didn't even know that they were that loud. Like I didn't even know that I was struggling with those things until this process. But God in the process, in his divinity and his faithfulness, he knew I needed this, not because he's trying to punish me, but he's trying to prepare me. He's trying to heal me from things I chose. I chose certain things in my life. I wanted those things and I hurt me. I broke my heart. And now I'm over here not trusting God because of decisions I've made. And God is telling me in this season, no, trust me. And y'all, I'm telling you, in this season, I have just seen how faithful he is. I've seen that even when I'm fighting him, he is literally doing everything like to heal me, to prepare me, to make me better. And so now it's not so much about the destination. It's really about the journey. It's really about the journey. I understand, like, when you're making sacrifices for God, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this way. I've never done it this way. This is not how my family did it. This is not how my mama did it. This is not even how my brothers did it. It's not. But when you do it and you finally get to a certain place, you're like, you know what? I have way more fulfillment doing it your way than mine. I have way more fulfillment doing it the way that you've designated me to do it. I'm over here trying to do it a broken way. And that's not giving me no fulfillment. That's not bringing me any closer to purpose. That's not. And now I'm doing it your way. And yes, at first it seems harder. And it is harder. I'm not going to say it's not. However, the way that God is doing it and how he's doing it in my life is the most fulfilling way. Why? Because I know. I've seen him and I know that he's real. And everything I was holding on to wasn't worth. Like the little habits that I have, the way I'm closed off, the things that I was doing, like those things were, what were those? You know what I'm saying? Like for what? What was I doing that for? Like I'm holding on to, like, there's people that are holding on to broken relationships, people that are holding on to their ways, what they want to do, how they want to do things, their comfortabilities, because it's going to force you to get out of your comfort zone. It's going to force you to be vulnerable. It's going to force you to, and he's not making you be vulnerable for no reason. He's making you be vulnerable because in some way, shape, or form, whatever the desires of your heart are, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to be open. And so he breaks open your heart a little bit to get you to understand, like, you can trust me with this. You can trust me with this. If I'm telling you to do something, there's purpose in that. If I'm telling you to do something, I'm not going to put you in a position that I'm not going to make good for your good. I'm not people. I'm not who's hurt you in the past. I'm not your ex. I'm not a pastor. I'm not none. I am God. And so if I'm calling you to something, you have to know, and the world does a really good job of making us feel like the world's way is best. And it's not. It leaves you more broken than you were to begin with. And I'm here to tell you that when I saw how faithful God is today, the number is the same on the day that it was, y'all. I had to testify of the goodness of my Savior. Like David, he said, listen, I gotta testify to your faithfulness before the great assembly. Because there's people that they don't know how real God is. And there's these people that come on and they're like, okay, of course you're gonna say that. I don't have to say this. I don't have to do this. But I know that somebody is trusting God for something or needs encouragement to trust God for the things he's calling you to trust him for. And it may not be for the same things. It may be for relationships. It may be for business dealings that you have. It may be for dreams that you've had that have gone unrealized. God is calling you to something and you're resistant because it doesn't make sense to you. It seems out of reach. It just doesn't, you're like, I don't know about this. I'm scared. I don't want to open myself up. I don't want to because of the things that have happened in the past. I'm here to encourage you that God's way truly is greater. Trust him. Trust him. He is faithful. And I'm here to tell you, he is outdone himself. Outdone himself. I'm so humbled. I'm so grateful. He's so good. He's so good. So y'all, I'm going to jump off. I wanted to share this with you guys because I did feel led to do this. I want to be faithful. If God's blessing me and God has shown up for me in a way that I cannot explain, I'm going to be faithful. And I would watch other people's testimonies and it encourages me so much. So I wanted to do the same in this instance because this was so clearly a miracle to me. I had to share it. Had to. Like, I just couldn't. Like, what? Like, God is. Like, I can't. Like, I can't explain it. Like, I literally can't explain it. He's so good. So, anyway, y'all, I will let you guys go. Y'all have a great evening. I will not be staying on. I will be saving this live to share my testimony about how God showed up in a mighty, mighty way for me today. And it's a big deal for me because y'all, like I said, I don't trust people in that particular area. Like, I'm going to go get it. Like, you know, I'm a whatever, you know, I'm going to work. I'm going to work, you know, I'm going to figure it out. And yeah, he's so good. All right, y'all. I love you guys. I'm praying for y'all. Even the people that were being ugly or whatever, I love you. I love you. I have no ill will towards you. I don't let the enemy use you because that's not, you know, I know we're hurt. I know that we're a hurting nation. There's a lot that people are going through. And I don't have the answers for that. All I can say is that our God is faithful. And if you seek him, you will find him. If you knock, the door will be open. And so I'm praying for y'all. Love y'all. I don't have anything negative to say. God has just been too good to me for me to, even if you are going out of your way. But I know that's not you. I know the enemy's using people, and I'm not going to let him stop me. No. I rebuke and bind that in the name of Jesus. Okay. All right, family. I love y'all. Have a great evening. I will see you guys next week. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.